Okay, and what other housekeeping? You can ask questions at any time. We'll try to get to those throughout the presentation. It's a small crowd tonight, so definitely ask your questions. What we're going to do is I'm going to introduce Tracy, and we are going to show you the Pro Spangle itself, which is this machine that I'm standing in front of so rudely. Then we're going to take a quick look at the HotFix Era software so you can get an idea of what it can do. We're going to run the machine for a little bit so you see how fast it is and easy it is. And then we're going to talk ROI so you can see why we continue to call this thing the most profitable machine that we sell, and definitely the most profitable bling machine on the market today. Okay, so do we have any questions about anything I've talked about so far? I'm going to switch over to the computer screen and reintroduce you to all the stuff that we have for you online at Coldesi. If you are not already a part of the Custom Apparel Startups Facebook group, I see a couple of familiar names, especially Mike on there. If you're not already a part of this, please join. Whether or not you ever become a Coldesi customer or not, it is a great place. We push so much information through the CAS group on business tips. We have people talking about how to do this, what should I charge for that, embroidery, bling, sublimation, vinyl, stuff that Coldesi has nothing to do with. But you know, it's a great conversation between people that are in the business or want to get into the business. So just for example, here's the advertisement for this webinar, of course. There's people asking about some kind of advanced lead capture techniques for increasing your email list. What's a good DTG machine to get? Let's see, how much should I charge for doing this logo? Should I use customer blanks or not? Should I charge extra for that? There's all kinds of great information right here on this website. If you did not get here to this webinar through our CAS webinar site, then you should definitely take a look. It's caswebinars.com. And what you'll see is our upcoming webinars. We haven't put March's in there yet, so it's a little sparse. But there's a calendar for Coldesi, for Coleman & Company, our sister company here in the building. And there's also something new. If you are an owner right now for DTG and Avance, but soon for Spangles, if you are an owner of our equipment, we are having continuing education webinars 4 mornings a week. So we're committed to helping you guys be as successful as possible. One of the ways we've started showing that recently is by dedicating time every morning, or almost every morning, for one of our techs to go and actually do some extra training just for people that already have equipment. Okay, so that's something we recently started doing. If you listen to your information, we have the CAS podcast, and this is kind of an internet radio show. For example, the last episode that we recorded, it's normally Mark Vila, the marketing director from Coleman & Company, and I. The last one that we recorded was you versus the competition. Because one of the things that we hear all the time is the guy down the street is selling it for cheaper, or how can I compete with Amazon or with Zazzle or Cafe Press? And we go through that kind of step by step and outline the strategies that you can use to beat your competition and to emphasize your strengths. So you can listen to that on iTunes or right here on the website. And then, of course, we've got the best support in the business. We've got the best support website by far. If you just look at our training, for example, there's even self-paced training on the Pro Spangle. So even before you buy it, you can go through and watch the videos and go through training just to see what it's like to actually run it and maintain a product like that. And we've got tons of video. We've got a huge YouTube channel, just all kinds of stuff to help you get up and get started and stay in business and be successful. So you can buy more stuff from us, frankly. That's our motivation. All right, so that is my spiel. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it back over to the camera. And let's just make sure. Yes, there we all are. That's Bernardo, our technician of the day, who's getting out of the way there. He's there in case we catch up anything on fire. He's got a fire extinguisher just off camera. And that's Tracy. And Tracy is the bling lady, and she is going to talk about the Pro Spangle. And I'm going to get out of the way.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Please make this lens a little wider, please.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Tracy. This is our Pro Spangle machine. Do not let the size fool you. I have heard it's not big enough to be as bad as I tell them, and it's simply not true. This is a great machine that is actually portable if you had some way to get it to different events, but it's also tabletop to where it's not going to take up a full room. It's 110 volts, not 220, and it is, like Mark said, the most profitable machine that we have. It's fast, it's quiet, and it literally has a wow factor. The end results people love. I can't even tell you. People want to feel it, people want to touch it, and then they hear the price point that they can make off of it, and it makes it even more attractive. So the machine itself weighs about 170 pounds. It's got a large sewing field that's 17 and a half by 13 and a half, which you can get a lot of small designs on, or a large design.
A really big print.
Yes, if you're doing jacket backs, which some cheer teams and dance teams will do. But you can take as much as where your paper is and fill it up, cut out your transfers, heat press them on. It's got your screen that you're direct connected to a laptop. It comes with 6 colors, or 6 press units, meaning you can do 6 colors at a time, which is big. 6 colors, most people want 2, 3, but 6 colors is huge, meaning you can go very in depth. You will get with it 3 SS10s, which is 3 millimeters, 2 SS6s, which is 2 millimeters, and 1 SS16, which is a 4 millimeter. I tell people all the time, work with that. The extra press units are a little pricey, but if you can give your customer the expectation of what you can do, because we give you 10s and 6s because the smaller the spangle, the more shine it has. So people really tend to like the fills smaller. You can always do a larger accent with the 4s. You can go up to 5, which is a SS20, but the 6s, 10s, and the 16 are
we picked those from selling rhinestone machines for the past
Right.
5 or 6 years, realizing that those were the best sizes.
Every 6-color rhinestone machine I would sell came with a 20, and people would want to change it in for an extra 10. So
Right.
it just seemed logical with this machine to have the smaller, and I have not had any complaints. No one wants huge spangles. They want the smaller ones. You get 22 reels of colors that come with it. You'll get the holograph, you'll get glossy, and you'll get matte. You have lots and lots of colors to choose from through Coleman and Companies. A reel will cost you $9.95, and it'll give you 27,000 size 3 millimeter spangles out of that reel. And we'll save the ROI for later, but that's a lot of bling. Or as I like to call it, spling.
Spling.
Yes, it's my word. Don't
Stop
use
it.
it. You will also get HotFix software with this machine. You will also get a Nomex pad, because when you heat press it, you want to use your Nomex pad. You will get 50 sheets of transfer paper, and you will get the HotFix software. Did I say that?
Yes.
And you will get training. As Mark showed you, we do self-paced training, we do in-house training in New Jersey and Tampa, and we also do live instructor-led training where you're actually working on your machine with John, who is our trainer.
That's what most people pick.
Well, it's nice. It's still hands-on, but you're in the comfort of your own house. No one can see what you're wearing. You don't have to travel. I feel like sometimes people would come here to Tampa to travel, come in, do the Thursday, Friday training on different machines, go hang out at the beach for a weekend, have some pina coladas, relax, get back to their shop
We're in
on
Tampa,
Monday.
by the way, just in case you
We're
didn't
right,
realize
the
that.
water's right there.
Yeah.
Get back to their shop and forget everything they learned.
Right.
So you can always come here. We would love to have you, but it's nice to be able to work on your machine and not have to leave and forget, because it's, anytime you're learning anything new, it's more overload of information.
Yeah.
Which you can always reference back to our self-paced training.
Agreed.
So the HotFix software allows you to do a ton of designs, different fills of designs, and I think Mark was going to show you a little bit about that as well.
I'll definitely do that. I'm kind of curious though, how many of you have never felt or seen a Spangle design in person? You just raise your hand. Have you never seen one? While you think about that, I think I'm going to zoom over here so we can take a look at the colors of the Spangle reels.
Sheila, never seen it.
Sheila, you have never seen a Spangle design or gotten the chance to touch a Spangle design.
And
Okay. So these are just some of the colors. These really don't do it justice, but you can see the holographic effect, you know, of those colors. And then we've got some of the more matte colors up there. And the matte are actually really useful. They're great as providing a backdrop or shadows in some designs. And it's good for guys' clothes as well. And talk a little bit about, Tracy, about the difference in the feel between the rhinestones from the big machine behind you versus Spangles.
Well, this is something I love to show people when they come in. This is a design that is both, one is rhinestones and one is Spangle. They've both got the shine, the glimmer. I'm trying to get the equal light. But basically, this is the Spangles. It almost blends in with the fabric.
It's completely soft.
This is the rhinestones, which everyone knows the rhinestones are lifted. The Spangles become part of the shirt. People absolutely love the fill. There's up there's a skull and bones design that I actually wore to a kids parade that we have here in Tampa. And even though it was a kids parade, I had many people wanting to feel the skull and bones.
Okay.
Just because it's a crazy feeling, and it's a great feeling, and the shimmery, the shine. We did designs on bags for our last shows that we did.
Yeah.
The Texas show especially, people could not get over the feel. They just sat there and touched it.
And it's lighter too, so it's not going to pull the shirt away. It's not going to weigh down.
It's not heavy at all. And if you're a cheerleader or a dancer, this is so flat. You can put it on the back of your cute little boy shorts, and you know, if you sit down the wrong way, it's not going to make a sound. It's not going to cause you to be uneven.
Right.
In fact, dance and cheer, I truly believe, will pay this machine off. Absolutely.
Yeah. Dina wants to know if it's not affected by wash, and that's a no.
I tell people to tell your customers, treat it like a rhinestone shirt. You want people to think that it's got the perceived value, which it does.
Right.
But I have a ton of these shirts in my house. I have bleached, I have hot dried, hot washed, and not a spangle has come out. Now, of course, this heat pressing, of course, when you do your design, is going to absolutely make sure to the fact that it stays on the shirt.
Right.
But I tell people, tell your customers, wash it inside out, hang it up, treat it like it's a $30 shirt.
Right.
And most people will do that.
Yeah.
I just happen to have so much laundry. I just throw it all in together. So.
But I mean, you can see the designs up there. They look great. Those are all Spangle designs, and definitely would support, you know, a $25 shirt if you put that on the front or the back, you know, customized.
Right.
Any other questions about the machine itself? We're going to see it run in just a few minutes. So we talked about the fact that it's 6 colors. We talked about the fact that how many Spangles you can get in a reel, which we're going to do more of as well.
We'll
Saw all that. How many different color reels are there? There's
56, I believe.
It's in the 50s.
56.
There's more than 50 colors. Great feel. Lead-free.
That is a perfect thing if you have any kind of contacts with elementary schools, preschools, smaller dancers. There's no lead. So especially with schools, you have to prove on the rhinestones, if you're using color rhinestones, their lead count. There is no lead, which is just perfect for children's things.
Yeah, we've got customers that do baby socks and the whole thing. All right. Okay, so I guess I'll move on to showing off the software. Does that sound good? Okay, I'm going to switch back so you don't have to look at me before you see the software. Move the camera out of the way. Oh, look, I gave away the secret. I'm gonna delete all this and we'll start all over again. Okay, everybody can see okay? Everybody's caught up with the screen?
I can.
Okay, great. So this is HotFix Era. It comes with all our Bling machines. So it comes with the Cam's Rhinestone machines, with the Pro Spangle. If you were to get a brush and bake system from Coleman and Company, it comes with that. It's basically a Bling design software. And it's also what comes with our embroidery machines as well. If you see across the tab, actually, I'll go through it this way. There are 3 main tabs across the top in this particular package. Now, normally when you get the Pro Spangle, what you'll get is the Artwork tab and the HotFix tab. This one also has the Embroidery tab because you can digitize embroidery designs as well as Bling designs from the same package. And yes, you can do mixed media with some embroidery and some Bling. It's pretty simple inside of HotFix. The Artwork tab, it's not Corel Draw, but it is probably enough to do anything that your customers will ask you to do.
And it's a standalone.
Yeah,
You don't need Corel.
you don't need any other applications. You don't need Corel Draw or Photoshop or anything like that. You can just use this. So what I'll do is I'll just show you a quick design, and I'm going to use this Artwork tab, and I'm going to go to Close Shapes, and I'm just going to pick the flag because that's kind of fun. And if you notice, it just comes in as a standard color. It's a vector, so I can play with it. I can squish it up if I want to. I can, do all of that stuff. Hang on. There we go. Hang on, let me try again. Sorry, I just have layers of this design that I've been playing with all morning because of this one technique that I'm going to show you. Okay, so here it is. Here's the vector file. And now I want to fill this with rhinestones. There are several ways that I can do that. I can fill in the middle with rhinestones, which is what normally people do. I can just do an outline, which you would see an outline of a flag, or I can do both. For this purpose, I'm gonna do a fill, but I think I'd like to do something like a red, white, and blue design. So I'm gonna use this split vectors button right here, just to show you again. It's not a training class. I don't really use this all that much. Let me try that again. Got to hold down the shift button so I get these little curvy things in there. What I'm doing really is I am actually splitting this vector graphic into different parts. Because remember, one of the strengths of the Pro Spangle is that you can do up to 6 colors. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over to the HotFix tab, and I'm going to pick our fills. So I can do almost anything. I can actually draw with spangles if I wanted to draw freehand. I can use this, which is the area fill, and these are all other specialty fills that will give you a different look for every design. So when I do this, you can see it automatically fills with rhinestones. I had the SS10s in there. Just going to change this a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to zoom in, and you can see that it's already filled that area. So I'm just going to do something blue. I'm going to pick the next area. I'm going to go back to HotFix, go to single HotFix fill, do this again, and now I'm going to pick a different color. And the colors don't really mean anything. They're just a representation. You're actually going to tell the Pro Spangle which reel to use, and it'll naturally pick up that color. So let's use, let's see, I've got red, and then I'm going to pick this last one, and I think you guys get the idea by now. I'm going to fill it with clear. All right, and then I go to the simulation view. Oh, it's already there. Let me hide the vector so you can see it. And there's kind of my funky flag design. Now you'll notice there are a few stones that are kind of on top of each other, and that's really easy to take care of. I can just highlight this, and I can actually go to solve overlap, and this thing will do the math for me. And now that overlap is gone, and I can play with this as much as I like. Okay, you can manipulate different corners. You can see it's a Bezier file, so if I want to do that, it'll automatically change the fill, and it's going to give me a stone count down at the bottom left. So everything that I do, if this were a rhinestone design, you'd probably charge by the number of stones. With Pro Spangle, you can do the same thing, but you'll make a lot
Right.
more money.
Rhinestones, you also have to charge by color and by
Right.
size. With spangles, every color is the same price.
Right. For example, if this middle were not red, but it were rose, that would be a lot of money in rhinestones, but next to free, basically, in Pro Spangle. So let's just take this, and I'm just going to add some text, and I'm going to use this Swiss font. You can use any TrueType font you would like, any that are on their system. Some of them do better with stone designs than others. I'm going to use a digitized font just because it's easier, and I'm going to go, let's see, Coldesi. How do you spell that? Florida. All right. And there's my design. And you see it already it's already in these blue stones, and that looks pretty good. So that could be a shirt. Or I could come in here and I could do some of the stone, I can do some effects, like do an upper arc. I could use one of these other patterns. And this is one of the many great things about the HotFix Era software is if you had done this design in CorelDRAW and imported it, and you wanted to do this with the text afterwards, you'd have to go back into Corel, fix it, change it, bring it back in, see if it was right. Where, with this, I can do all kinds of stuff. I can edit it at any level I want to. I can make it bigger or smaller. I can pick an individual letter and make that bigger. I can change the kerning. I can change the spacing, the position of the letters. You can do a lot of really creative things that will set you guys apart. Here's a design that we were going to do earlier. It's basically a cowboy boot design. And if I wanted just to finish off the lettering here, I would just go love to. Love to line dance, upper arc. I'm not creative, by the way. Make this a little smaller, nor can I spell. But you guys get, no, I did that on purpose. It's supposed to be love to line dance. All right. Do you guys have any questions? I mean, you saw how I filled in the flag. You can create your own shapes. You can easily bring in clip art. You can download vectors from the internet. You can buy vector files from Coleman & Company, or you can get them packaged in with your Pro Spangle. Okay. Now, from this point, all I would do is I would save this file, and then I would output it out to the Pro Spangle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back over to the live camera, as opposed to the dead camera, and I'm going to let Tracy hit the magic button, and you can see the Pro Spangle run. Ho!
Also, with the machine, with the software, not only do you get the machine training, but you actually get training with Sierra online. If you come to Tampa, if you go to New Jersey, and I think John touches on it as well, but you get, with your package, you get training from Sierra themselves. And there's tons of online training, YouTube training, but the software is a great tool because there's so much to learn. Now I'm going to hit start. And you can see the machine run.
How fast will this thing go?
It'll go up to 1,000 spangles per minute. We like to run it, it's like an embroidery machine. 800, 850 is a good speed. Compared to cams that'll do 150 stones a minute.
Compared that to any rhinestone machine on the market. You can see it's just notching out. Basically what's happening is there's a little punch on the bottom that's working kind of like an embroidery needle, and it's pushing little circles of the spangles upside down onto the sticky tape. That's why you see it backwards. Switching over to the next color.
And it's not loud.
No. How many stones was this design? We'll check when it stops. I think it was about 1,100 stones.
We figured it out to be about, with paper, about 42 cents.
Okay. All right, we're just going to back it up, and I'm going to let Tracy show off some samples.
I'm going to show one sample.
There's more samples over there.
Yeah, that's busy.
Let me take that off.
Okay. This is a sample that we did. You can see just the shine. I believe this was about 2,000 spangles, and it cost around 60 cents to make. You live in Texas, you could get $30, $40 for this shirt on a nice shirt. You always want to put it on a nice shirt, a nice sweatshirt, a nice tank top. You don't want to put it on a Hanes Beefy. People don't want to spend money for a spangle on a Hanes Beefy.
You never know. By the way, it's hard to see on the plastic, but this is the design that we just completed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have Mark pull up some examples that we did on real shirts from Alpha Broder. That way you can kind of get an idea. That design we just did was 42 cents. And that does include the paper cost. If you put it on real life shirts, not just, you know, because you can get an account with Alpha, CMR, Virginia Tees. This first shirt, the price at Alpha was $6.15. You add the spangle cost to it, you sell it for $25. You're making $18 on that shirt. The next one is a tank top. Again, you're paying $4.50 for it. The total cost is right at $5. You're selling it for $20. You're making $15 on that shirt. The long sleeve shirt is $5.82. You sell it for $25. You're getting an over $18 profit. And all these shirts are Bella brand. And I tell customers, especially customers that have seasons, have a package for them if their kid plays a sport or if their daughter is a cheerleader or dancer or soccer player or whatever. Do a long sleeve shirt, do a tank top, do a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. That way you can make them 3 different shirts with 3 different, my daughter rocks, you know, baseball mom, whatever.
Yeah.
And sell them for $75 and you're making a killing.
Yeah.
But you're also giving them, because I'm a baseball mom and I go to a tournament, and if I had just $1 for every baseball mom, baseball nana, baseball little sister shirt I saw on Friday, they're not wearing the same one Saturday, they're wearing another one, and on Sunday, you know, elimination day, everyone's wearing their son's number or name.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
You really could make a killing. You just have to get the right, you know, combinations of shirts. In Tampa, it's either a sweatshirt or a tank top because we either go really hot or really cold.
Right.
There's no in between. No seasons here.
No seasons. Oh, rainy season.
Yeah. We had monsoon today, so. But again, the reels, you're not basing your pricing on colors like you are with rhinestones. In fact, I did a kind of a comparison for a customer a few months ago when it was breast cancer aware month, and we had a breast cancer ribbon, which you have to be careful about. You can't do their exact ribbon, but this was a different ribbon. It was over 200. It was 500 stones. I got to get my products right. It was over 500 rhinestones and 500 spangles, and the cost for the pink on the rhinestones was over $2, and the price for the spangles was 48 cents. Right. So the markup is huge.
That's why it is the most profitable bling machine on the
Yes.
market. There's no choice.
Getting 27,000 spangles out of one reel is huge. 36,000 size 2mm, it's huge.
And that's not even taking into account the speed difference between the two machines. I mean, the Pro Spangle is, even running it at slower speeds, is 4 or 5 times faster.
Exactly.
So you're doing that many more designs in the same period of time.
Right, and again, the field is so large, you could get 16 ribbons on this if you wanted to.
Yeah, we probably could have fit 2 of the designs that we just did on one sheet.
Actually, with probably 3 of the Pro Spangle.
Different shapes.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions on the ROI at all?
So these are real examples. You know, Tracy went out and found real wholesale shirts and got those prices. And if you've been to any mall and you have taken a look at what they sell shirts for, you know that $25 for one of those shirts is not out of the question.
Even the Spangle transfers that you can buy online. I personally have 2 customers that are selling on Etsy, and they're selling Spangle transfers for $10, $12, and good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them, because they are making.
They're making $9.50.
They're making a killing.
Yeah, that's
so, and that
crazy.
could be you.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially like if you're already in this apparel business, it is something, like I said, the market's not saturated, and people love it, and people will pay for it.
Yeah, if you are a screen printer or do vinyl or do DTG or anything like that right now, then this is a whole new world, an incredibly profitable thing to add to your business. Tracy, what is the cost per gross for 3mm spangles, please?
Shoot, Mike, I don't know that. $9.95.
How many spangles? Let's do the math. I'll break out my calculator.
So 9.
So let's say it's a $9.95 reel for 3mm.
7,200 is
How many
50 gross. For one gross?
how many 3mm spangles in a reel?
27,000.
So $9.95 divided by 27,000.
Mhm.
Okay, I can't even read that number, it's so small. And
It's
then
point
times
0.000.
times 144.
Yeah.
It is 5.3 cents a gross. No matter what the color.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that one of the big differences that we don't talk about a lot too, actually, for the Pro Spangle is that Pro Spangle punches are always exactly the same size. There's some variation in rhinestones because it's a more mechanical process.
Right.
And with spangles, you can do a more dense design. Because the size is completely uniform, you can actually get the spangles closer together than you should with rhinestones. Is that it? Okay, our buy one, get one free sale ends in 3, 2, no, just kidding. Tracy, do you have anything else that you want to share with these guys?
I don't. I would be happy to email you guys the pricing and you know, everything that it comes with. Just a little recap of everything that we talked about today. You can put in my email if anybody wants to contact me. I'd love to tell you about it. It's not just for sports teams. I've got a lady doing the red hat people, which I think every city has a red hat club. People love putting this on their clothes.
All right, guys, if there aren't any more questions, we do appreciate your time. We do this stuff for you, and we're excited about the Pro Spangle. It's been out for 2 years now?
A little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years, and we still just love this thing. So we'd be happy to help you get into the business.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Have a good night.